Hey everyone, it's Teresa Crane with Jeremiah Dreams. How are you guys doing tonight? I am tickled to be back with you guys. I have been traveling and it's just been a very busy day of being on the road and flying in, unloading the car, going to a rehearsal and getting back in and just unloading my studio so that I can join you guys tonight and do a little bit of painting with you all. And I hope that as you join in, you'll be all excited to see what's going on here. So, as you join, please grant StreamYard permission to display your name so we can have a conversation and just have a good time enjoying each other's company. I want to bring to you was it last week or week before, you guys? I've been out of town. My daughter and her husband have just had their second child, so I have been busy helping them, and I kind of have Mimi brain right now, so I'm in a fog. But recently, I was on Craft Around the Clock, and I did this patriotic Memorial Day charger, and I did not get finished during my time on Craft Around the Clock, and so afterwards, I went just on my own and just finished it up, and I just wasn't happy with the end results. So tonight, I want to do better and get this thing where it's more in my liking, I should say. So let me share my screen. We're going to dive right into this and let me show you. So I guess I was tired because the Mimi thing was going on and I just couldn't get my thoughts, couldn't get to peace with it. But let me just kind of walk you through what I did. This is one of those inexpensive chargers from Hobby Lobby. It only costs like $1.99. I don't know if you can see that. They have all kinds of colors. I loved this bright, shiny red. And basically what I did was I just took some frog tape and just taped off some lines, kind of going like almost like slicing a pie. And in between those lines, I painted white stripes. Then I went along the outside of the stripes, and let me hold this up so you can see a little bit better. And I painted a light gray just to frame in the white stripes. Now, it was really important to use multi-surface paint because this being a non-porous, hey Christine, how are you? Because this is a non-porous surface, it's not going to dry the same way as if you were painting on canvas or painting on wood. So you need to use an all-surface paint or chalk paint. Either one I think would work just fine. I use the all-surface paint. I'll show you right here. It's by Apple Barrel. It's a multi-surface. This one is candy apple. I use the white version, and it's just called white. That's what I would recommend in doing this. However, chalk paint should work just as fine because you use chalk paint quite a bit when you're repainting furniture and things of that nature. So tonight, what I want to do is I'm just going to cover this up. I had made me templates of stars to put in here. I'm just not happy with it. I think I was really tired that day, mentally tired, and couldn't think it through. But tonight, I want to make it right. I want to finish this piece because Memorial Day is right here on us, and I want this to be an awesome project. So that's my goal. I have some black chalk paint. This is honestly, I think I got this at Dollar General. It's nothing major, fancy or anything, but it is some black chalk paint. I'm going to just cover this up and we're just going to move on and make this a really neat piece. I don't really want to use that brush. So I'm going to use kind of a wide flat brush and I'm just going to go right over this. And we're just going to, I tell you what I have in mind is to make a very pretty flag right in the middle of this. This will not take long at all to get covered up. So while I'm working on covering this up, say hello. Hi, Rena. How are you, my friend? I hope you guys are doing well. I have been on the road today, getting back in from helping my kids and the new baby, and she's precious, and I am so in love. I have 2 little granddaughters now, and I am just in love with them. So just to let you know, if you're just joining, I'm just using some chalk paint to cover this up. This should do the trick just fine. And then I'm going to paint in the middle. And here's the other thing. I love black as a foundation color. because when you begin, and y'all, my cat, since I've been gone, they have missed me. Socks is in here with me right now, just begging to get in my lap. She is ready to have some time with me. So, bless her heart. We've already been loving and cuddling, but she's got to make up for it. And here's the other thing, this paint is drying very fast, which is really nice. Really, really nice. So tell me what's up with you guys. How are you? How are you? I have missed y'all. I haven't been able to come live as much because it's been so busy. Hi, Tracy. How are you, girl? I'm so glad to see you. I've just finished watching your video from this afternoon, and it was just wonderful. And I just so much appreciate it. So I want to finish up this Memorial Day plate charger, I should say, that I started on Craft Around the Clock. Just wasn't happy with how it turned out. So let me just hit this with a little bit of a heat gun and get this nice and dry. And then I have in mind to paint a flag. Just a flag. You know, at first I thought I would paint a message. And sometimes a message, words, calligraphy isn't necessary. Sometimes the picture says it all. And so that's what I have in mind to do tonight. And I've just used some plain black craft paint just to cover up what I did that I just felt like I just was not happy with. And I have a little trick I want to try tonight too. I think it will work, but we're going to see for sure. I have ordered, and it's not here yet, a bigger container of chalk paint, and I don't have it yet. So what I have in mind to do, Plaid was so kind and generous to send me a goodie box, and in there I have some folk art, so you can see folk art chalk paint in white. So I'm going to try, and I've been reading up on this a little bit, to take some chalk paint and then tint it with my regular craft paint. And I have been reading, doing a little bit of research, and I'm seeing online that they say it will work. So let's put that to the test and see if it really does. So let me just get some of this white chalk paint out. And before I do that, I'm just thinking through this right now. I don't have a grand plan here. I believe what I would like to do is first base in this flag, the shape, and I'm just going to freehand this. But listen, here's a little tip and trick. If you're not comfortable with freehanding your images, go online. There are all kinds of free, royalty-free, copyright is not going to be situation coloring pages. Just find you a coloring page with a flag on it, or whatever image you're wanting to paint. You can transfer that image as long as it's royalty free. Please be careful to not infringe upon any copyright. That it was an artist that put that together, and you want to be sure and honor their creativity, and be sure you're selecting images that are royalty free. Okay. So let me just kind of base in a flag, and I want it to look like it's waving. I'm just going to freehand this. This is chalk paint again that I'm using, and I'm going to mirror on the bottom what I did on top. I'm just basing this in and squaring it up, and hopefully this will look much better than where I originally started. Making sure I'm in the center. And if you're new to me, I'm a painter, I'm an artist, and this is my jam. I love to paint on all kinds of different things. And this charger, it was just so bright and metallic looking. It just kind of spoke to me and made me think about patriotism when I saw that bright red. But here's the thing. When I first did all these stripes around the outer edge, some said, hey, that looks like a peppermint. And it does. You could do it for Christmas too. So let me just square this up a little bit, put this good foundation on here, and then we're going to just add the details. Now listen, you guys can absolutely decorate this any way you want to, but right now a flag is just kind of speaking to my heart. There's just a lot going on in our country, and I must have a little bit of black paint right there that's a little bit wet. So it's trying to peek through, but that's all right. We're going to cover that up. I want to do just a little extra dip right here to give that image a wave, so to speak. So let me dry this. Make sure I've got a lot of my little ridges out. So you guys, I have to say, grandchild number 2 is just awesome. And seeing my kiddos' little family grow is such a blessing. Such a blessing. Let me see. Let me just go ahead and rinse this a little bit because I'm probably going to need to put a second coat on here. So tell me how you're doing. How is everyone? I hope you're having a good week, a good day. It's hump day. Yay. Let me just hit this with some heat. Get this dry. I must say I am glad to be home. I'm glad that drive is behind me. My little dog and I, we hit the road quite often and head down to see the kids. And I'm always glad to finally make it to my destination. And he is too. But he's such a good little traveler. I'm telling you. Very, very fortunate. All right, let me see if I can put another coat on here. Just a second. Coat to give it a really good foundation for adding the details. I'm going to do the stars and stripes. And okay, so here's the thing. Don't be counting my stars or my stripes because they're not going to be exactly just like the American flag. But we're just doing a rendition of it, okay? So don't hold me to I don't have enough stripes or I don't have enough stars. We're just going to portray the gist of it. Just about got this based in. And let me dry this. And I have to say, I believe this chalk paint is doing a lot better than the multi-surface paint, which was a nice experiment. So Christine says she got her second COVID shot. Awesome. And I hope you're doing okay. You just got it yesterday, so I hope you're feeling well today because it affects everyone different. I've heard it all across the board of reactions. So I hope you're doing okay, and I hope you continue to do okay. So y'all, I am working on a painting that I'm going to offer a workshop, a one-day workshop next month in June. And I hope to have that finished this weekend and let you guys know about it next week. I'm kind of excited about it. I think it's going to look really cool. I have, in case you're new to me, I have a Paint and Create membership group. And I've kind of shared that with them. And they were all excited about what's going on with that. I'm getting us some more of this white chalk paint. So stay tuned for next week. I'm going to be sharing more about that next week. All right. So I think I'm going to start with my blue and get that little squared in. This is just a multi-surface primary blue. So I have, let me show you, let me slide this out of the way. So here I have my white chalk paint, and I'm going to try to tint this with this blue. I've been reading up on this, and I'm getting the impression that this is a possibility. But we're going to see. Get my little palette knife here and see if I can't blend the two together. And instead of buying all of these various colors of chalk paint, of course, it's wanting to dilute the color a little bit. But I've got to get this white in here, and then I'm going to tint it some more to get that rich blue color going. So let me add a little bit more to this. But I need that chalk consistency. And since I have not done this before, I'm going to have to kind of play around with kind of the ratios. Because with it being white, it is trying to dilute it quite a bit. But that's okay. We'll figure this out. A lot of times with crafting and painting, it's trial and error. And you just go with the flow. So I want it to be a little bit richer in color. And it might be I can put some of this in a container and preserve my excess. And that would be a really good way to do it too. Christine says, last night was rough, but she's better today. Well, that's good. That is, I'm so glad. because it does affect everyone different. But if if that is something that you need to do, you need to do it. And I hope that you continue to improve. Hi, Judy. How are you? It's so good to see you. I am playing around with tinting some white chalk paint and see how this does. And I think it's going to do pretty good because I can feel it in the mixing of it that chalk is going to be a present and adhere to this very well, I think. Okay, let's lay this on here. Let me go ahead and wipe the excess off my palette knife. I've been looking for this thing forever. I've had this palette knife for a long time, and it's one of those situations where I laid it down and I thought, where did I put that thing? And so tonight when I was unpacking my studio and getting it set back up so I could spend some time with you guys, I found it. It had fallen on the floor on the other side, and I'm like, oh, forevermore. All right, so let me see if I've got all of this pretty dry. It looks good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put my square for the stars right here. And I'm going to observe the shape, the outer shape of my flag. And I'm going to add a flagpole to the outside edge of this too. So I'm not too worried about this outside part of it, because I'm going to add that pole or rod or whatever you want to call it right there. But let me get right up against the edge here. And I think that this side, it needs to follow that same wave. So I'm going to add just another little dip there. Okay. I think it's going to need one more coat. So let me dry this. Hi, Janet. It's so good to see you. You guys, I've missed you. It has been so busy with my kids the past 2 weeks, helping them. And I have been very limited on my time and ability to hang out with you guys. So I'm so glad to be back with y'all. I am improving this charger I picked up at Hobby Lobby that I started on Craft Around the Clock. The last time I was on that group, and I wasn't happy with the outcome. And I thought, you know what? I am kind of road weary tonight from travel, and I think I'm just going to get this out and make it better. So I'm just going to let that cure right there, that blue, and go on and lay in some red stripes. And I think that worked really good to use the white chalk paint and then tint it. So let's try that again. Let me do it a little bit different. Instead of starting with the white and adding the color, let me lay the color out. Yeah, I'll use this. So this is flag red. Shake it up a little bit. Put that on my palette. You can see right there. Now let me add a little bit of this white chalk paint, because I need that composition of the chalk paint to adhere to my surface. Now it's going to try to dilute it a little bit. Hopefully I can get this ratio pretty good, and even if I have to add some more to it, you know, it might be that there's going to just be some colors that you're really going to need to get that color in chalk paint, but we're going to see if we can't tint it. I have been reading up on this and seeing that that's a possibility to kind of help you not have to buy so many colors in chalk paint. So add some more here because I want that bright red. And this is going to give it a little bit better tone. It's still a little bit diluted, but this is kind of a good experiment nonetheless. Got a little bit of glop right there. Let me get it out. still a little pink. Add a little bit more. And I may put some of this excess in a container to save for my next use of these colors. And this is going to be a little bit better. So I just had to try this. Have any of you tried that? Taking chalk paint and tinting it so that you're getting that adhesion that chalk paint offers, but you're not having to buy all those colors. Hey, Angela. Thank you so much, girl. Thank you. Oh, Janet, thank you so much. She says, we're glad you're back, but I know how good it must have been. Oh, listen, it was. There is nothing like newborn babies. I'm telling you. Oh, they just smell good. They're just precious. I miss them already. Oh, thank you, Christine, for the hearts. I so much appreciate it, you guys. I have missed y'all. I have. It has just been, it's been good to be with them. But, you know, when you're in the Mimi mode with littles, your schedule, your rhythm, all the things, it's just different. But you wouldn't trade it for $1 million. So I'm still using my flat brush. And y'all, I'm letting my flat brush do the work for me. I am allowing the bristles to fan out and make that stripe. Okay. I'm going to let that sit for a minute, and I'll probably go back over it with another coat. So I'm going to try to keep equal distance, but no guarantees, you guys. Again, don't count my stripes and my stars. We're just giving the effect here. I do want to add another one right through here. And I'm trying to observe my wave. I'm going over here and following the shape of the things, the wave, the wave in the box, the wave in the outline. And so the white, we're going to use how it comes short to be part of maybe it curling underneath itself. It's going to be the thought there. It's looking better, looking better. I'm going to go back to the first stripe and add a little bit more here. Let me use my heat gun. Try this a little bit. That way the second coat will go on a little better. So are you guys doing well? Tell me what you've been up to. So my 3-year-old granddaughter, she thinks she loves the baby. She seems to be wanting to hold her, but you know, her attention span is very, very short. And then she'll hold her and love her and kiss her. When they first got home from the hospital, one of the first things she asked was, can she play with me? And of course, you know, my daughter had to say, well, baby, she's got to grow a little bit more. It's just so sweet. The things that they say and think, it's kind of cool to get inside their head and kind of see things from their perspective. I got a little part here. I didn't get it quite dry enough. That's okay. We'll just dab it in there. And sometimes if you have problems with paint or wanting to lift, maybe just apply very little pressure. And I'm trying to be very easy as well. And just let the paint just kind of glide on. And then I want to put a pole along this other side. And I just decided it just didn't need a message that Sometimes the symbols are all the message you need. All right. It's looking a lot better, I think. It's sticking with the stripe effect around the outer edge, and I think this is going to work a lot better. All right, it looks like the blue is pretty dry. I want to go ahead while I'm here. I'm going to add some more white right along here. I'm going to use the very end of my brush to kind of do more of an outline and just fine tune this a little bit. Now, if I were doing this on a canvas, I would really get into some detail with it. This is just a little bit different surface and a different project. But I have done some flags in some other projects. I'm just going to touch up some little areas through here that needs just a little more white. And really added a lot of shadow and detail in a flag before that I was very pleased with. But this little project, we're just going to keep it very light and free and fun. We're not going to get into a lot of detail. And to be honest with you all, I'm just road weary enough not to get into all those details tonight. Hi, Rhonda. How are you guys? I am so glad to see you. And Janice. Oh, you guys, I've missed y'all. I hope y'all are doing well. I am ready to get back at it and get all the things. So, y'all, I'm going to show y'all here in a second. So, when I was with my kids, there would be nights, it had been a long day, and you're just tired. And I would think about coming live, and I thought, I don't think I can put 3 words together right now. My brain's just cooked. So I would go to my room, and I took my studio with me. And when I say I took my studio with me, I mean I packed up all my stuff. And I've been there about almost 2 weeks. It would be 2 weeks tomorrow, and helping them out. And I would just go to my room late at night, and I just get my paints out, and I would just need to paint, and I didn't need to talk. And it's not that I didn't want to be with y'all. I just was mentally exhausted and physically exhausted. And so let me show y'all real quick. I've been working on the peaches. Remember the peaches? So the peaches in the bushel basket, I haven't stopped working on that. And let me show you what I've done. I shared this with my Paint and Create group Monday night too. So you guys all saw the roses. And I'm just going to say this. The workshop I'm working on is going to involve some roses. So look, so you can see real up and I just love how they turned out. Y'all, I can teach you how to do it, and it's not hard. Okay, so are you ready to see where I'm at with the peaches? Look. So what I've got going on here, which the last thing you guys saw was the apron, and I need to do some more detail on the ties. But let me show you. I have sketched in, let me get it in the camera just right, an antique stove back in the background. And there's a tiled wall back there. I plan to add some white cabinets. I thought about my grandmother's kitchen when I decided to do this. My grandmother and my grandparents' house, they had 2 kitchens. They had their everyday kitchen that was newer, more modern for back then. And then they had the old kitchen that was part of the original structure. In the original structure, it was a 3-room farmhouse. And so they would use the old kitchen, we would call it, for canning. And there would be times that when there wasn't canning going on, my grandmother quilted, and she had this huge quilt frame that hung from the ceiling. And she would hang that up in there, kind of out in the middle of the kitchen. It was a pretty big kitchen. And it would like hang just above the table. So I thought about that, and I thought this picture tells a story of a lady that's been out picking peaches, and she's getting ready to start cooking them, whether it's for a cobbler or jam or blanch, whatever it is. There had to be an antique stove in the background of this in my heart and mind. So that's where I'm at with the peaches. We're going to get started on this again, pick this back up, let you guys be a part of this process with me. But just want to show you that update. I've still been working on it. but I just needed to just to paint, just to relieve stress, just to enjoy myself, and it was wonderful. And that's when, you know, when you kind of get by yourself and you start just letting your mind just run with something. That's when some creative juices really start flowing and you start seeing some different things emerge. And that's what happened for me. Okay, so while some of these stripes are kind of curing here, I'm going to go ahead and paint some stars. I am not going to mix this yellow paint, and it's just the multi-surface paint. The color is lemon. And this black underneath was really nice and dry, so I was fine with using this palette. And I'm not going to add any chalk paint to that. I'm just going to use the multi-surface paint. And let's just see if I can't add some stars here. Now, we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it'll go okay. And to make these stars, I'm making like an upside down V. And I know, let me bring my camera down a little bit closer, hopefully. And I know this is going to get in front of my face. I'd love for y'all to see how I'm going to make these stars. So let's just get really, really close here. Okay. So I'm doing like an upside down V. And I'm going to go across and connect. And I'll probably have to do a second coat on these. I know I will. I shouldn't say I probably will. I will. So I'm going to do upside down V. And I'm using a very, very small round brush. I'm going across and I'm connecting. Okay. Now I am not going to do 50 of these, I can tell you. But this is going to at least give the impression. And again, when I'm doing these stars, I'm trying to flow with the shape of this flag on the top side. Okay. Now, if I was really, really into the details of this, I would have researched exactly how the stars are sitting. Tonight, I'm just going with the flow here. And I just want to lay in a good amount of stars here. So tell me, are you guys working on any projects or what's up with y'all? And y'all, this is just for decor. This is not going to be anything that I'm going to use to serve food on. It's just going to be something that I will display probably in my kitchen. I have quite a bit of counter space in there. And so I will probably put this on an easel. You know, just one of those really small, like almost like a plate holder in my kitchen. It's kind of funny getting back into the groove of painting because there were a lot of days that I wasn't able to paint or be creative. We were just taking care of children and house stuff and laundry and dishes and cooking and all the things that go with it. And I kind of feel like a little bit rusty, I guess. And so I've got to get back in the groove of my skill, my creativity. And like I said, some nights I would just go to my room and just need to be quiet and be creative. If that makes any sense. I hope y'all can see. Y'all don't have to see my face. It's more important to me that you guys see what I'm doing up close and personal. And then I'll raise this camera back up out of the way. Shoot, there is no way I could put 50 stars on here. We're just doing a simple representation. And then hopefully by the time I get ready to go back to the first star, it will be dry enough that I can easily put a second little coat on here. And I may just have to tap it in because this is a non-porous surface. And we just want to get a little bit bold here with our color. This is doing very well. I think it will probably need one more very minor, not even a full coat, just kind of touching up areas that are not solid. Y'all are a quiet group tonight. So if you're liking this, give me some hearts, y'all. Tell me. Tell me what suggestions you would have for this. What would you guys think would be a good idea to put in here? You know how I love to know what you're thinking. Y'all are creative. I'm doing good, Rhonda. I'm tired, girl. I am road weary. I traveled home today. I was home long enough to unload my car and head back out the door to a rehearsal. So, and I haven't been home real long from that. I got all my stuff out to try to spend some time with you guys tonight with my paints and all that. And I've had this charger that I started, it's just bothered me. And it was one of those days that had been really, really busy. And I've heard some of the other creative ladies in our Craft Around the Clock group talk about sometimes inspiration is hard. And I think I struggled with that myself. And so I just wasn't satisfied with what I had done. I thought, we are going to fix that. And y'all, it's just paint. So I kept telling myself, I am just going to paint over what I did and improve my thoughts there. Hi, Mandy. How are you? I am so glad to see y'all. So tomorrow night, I'm going to be working on the peaches again. Got a little paint on my thing. We'll get back to business. How about that? Tonight, it's just kind of a low-key, let's fix this baby and get back on track. Oh, thank you, Mandy. Thank you, girl. I have missed my regular routine, but I have loved taking care of my kids, y'all. But I have missed you guys and the time we spend together. So if you guys, do you think that you would enjoy going and getting one of these inexpensive chargers and doing something decorative with it? And if you would, what would you do? I want to know. I love to hear your ideas because this group, y'all have some amazing ideas. I got my Dogwood Chapel back from the art gallery. Well, I actually had my mother go pick it up for me because I was out of town. And so I will be investigating having that framed because it's just on a stretched canvas. And I have the judges comment on the back of it. So I want to preserve it. And that's kind of exciting. I got home and Mom had hung it back on the wall in my dining room for me, and it was kind of neat to walk in and see that there because I haven't seen it in several weeks with it being at the art gallery. So I think this will probably be it for this little coat here on these stars. It'll be good enough for what we're trying to accomplish. Oh, thank you, Rhonda. So have you guys ever decorated a charger? And you know what? You don't have to paint on it. There's all kinds of things you could do. Get you some wood cutouts and hot glue it in the center. There's just a wide variety of things. But me being an artist, I naturally go to paint. Okay, so I'm going to let that be. I want to add my little pole so that it's just not floating out in the middle of nothingness. And I'm going to raise this back up again now that we're kind of through with those little details. Oh, thank you, Angela. Thank you. Y'all are the best. I hope you know that. I have the best audience ever. So, of course, this isn't back in the same place that it was. It took me a while to get it in the place that I had it, and now I'm like messing with it. Okay, so I'm going to get some brown out. This is dark chocolate. I've got so much red and blue on this one palette. Let me get another one. Let me set my little rose canvas out of the way so I don't get it messed up. Get some dark chocolate out that I'm going to use for the flagpole. And I want to put some chalk with it. So I'm going to add a little bit of white just to get that composition in there with the chalk paint. And it's going to lighten it up, and I'm perfectly fine with that, especially with the brown. So let me put this over here so you can see a little bit better. So I got my dark chocolate out. I added some white chalk paint. And it did lighten it up, and I'm okay with that, especially with there being a black background on this. Having a lighter brown as the flagpole is just fine with me because it'll show up a little bit better. Let's see. Actually, I think I want to use a larger round brush. I don't use these round brushes very much, but I am going to use, let me see if I can put this where you can see kind of what I'm working with here. Okay. And I'm just going to edge this. Sorry, I'm concentrating. So let me dry this, and I'm going to put another little coat on there. Let's add a little bit more, and I'm okay with there even being some streaking in the flagpole because that gives the illusion of the wood. Okay. So I'm going to now, let's see here. think I'm going to get some of my black chalk paint. And what I had on that other palette has dried up, because it does dry pretty fast. So I'm just going to get a little bit, because I want to do some detail on here. Oh, I know one thing I want to do. I want to take that yellow before we go too much further, and I want to, let's see, let me find a pretty small flat brush. Here's this one. This will probably work well. I want to put like a little ball at the top of the flagpole. I am home. I am home, Chris. How are you? It's so good to see you. Yes, I am home. And glad to be home. I've enjoyed my time with my kids, but it is good to be home. So I'm just going to make a circle, and I'm going to allow the bristles on my brush outline this circle for me. And it's going to take a few coats because of the kind of surface. Make sure it's drying. And now that I have my shape, I'm just going to tap in some additional color, just so that it's got a good coat there. And that'll work just fine. Now what I want to do is I'm going to use a really small round brush and do some detail work that's going to help it to pop a little bit more and look. Oh, Rhonda, I've missed you too, girl. Y'all are precious to me. Just want you to know you're precious to me. I've missed you too. Y'all are awesome. All right, so I'm just going to twirl my brush and get just a little bit of black on here. Just do some outline work. And this should help it come to life. Let me improve this edge a little bit. And I don't have to go along the outside so much because of the black background. All right, so now I'm going to work on going between these stripes. And this will really help it pop. This is just a fun project. This is not full of major detail like I tend to paint. But sometimes you just need to give your brain a break and just do something a little less structured, less detailed, and just let your mind rest. And really, that's what this project is, just allowing my mind to rest a little bit. Especially after a day of travel. And it's just good to catch up with y'all. Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. I have just so enjoyed being with them, and I miss them already. You know, traveling back today, I just kind of reflected on it all, and it was a precious time, and I'm so thankful for that time, especially to help my daughter, and I just treasure her. And being able to help her with her babies. My son-in-law is wonderful. He is so good to me, y'all. And I'm so thankful to the Lord for him. He loves my daughter and his children, and it's just the coolest thing to watch that come to life. Can you see how it's taking shape and it's coming to life? Just adding these very minor things. makes such a big difference. Y'all can do this. Now, what I want to do right here is I am going to go along the outside just in an effort to clean up this edge and fine tune some of the imperfections. Okay, I'm going to do that right over here as well. And along this edge. Okay. All right, I'm going to go down this part of the flagpole. And y'all, I'm not perfect, but I'm just trying to clean up as much as I can. Because I see right here, I kind of got the brush got away from me. And that happens so easy too. It's all about the amount of pressure. But every little bit helps here. Just going to clean up this edge. And I think I'm going to like this a lot better than the direction I was originally going. And there again, like I said before, I think I was mentally struggling that day. And we all have those days. Now, what I want to do also is I want to work on these stars a little bit. Oh, good, Chris. I'm glad you like it. I want to kind of do a little bit on these stars, and I'm not going to worry about how much they connect, but I want them to pop. And you guys, black is such a great color to help your other colors pop. Look at that. Already you can see the difference. And I'm trying to be very careful with how much pressure I am applying. But I'm not going to be perfect again. Look at the difference. See? Let me hold it up a little bit closer. See what difference outlining it in black like that makes? Y'all, it's my go-to so many times. If you, and I've said this before, but if you ever think about quilts that include black fabric, whether it's in the background or just within a block, those areas where black is involved are just so brilliant with color. Anything that you add to it color-wise, they just are more vibrant. But I did this freehand. But if you're not comfortable doing something freehand, go online, find some royalty-free coloring sheets, and you can transfer your image onto your surface with good old carbon paper. and a pencil and just color. Now, having said that, I want to just mention if you do that, you shouldn't try to sell it because that is another artist's work. But for your own home decor or something, you're going to be just fine. So there's not 50 stars, but there's enough that this is taking just a few minutes to outline them. So tell me, if you were to decorate a charger, what would you do on a charger? One of these, it's a little $2 charger from Hobby Lobby. So what would you do? I would love to know. Do you guys decorate for Memorial Day? How do you decorate for Memorial Day if you do? I I have friends that decorate for all of the holidays and stuff, and I'm fascinated with it. And I've never done it, but I want to. But it's like I look up, I get so busy, and the holiday is either tomorrow or it's over with, and I miss the opportunity every time. Maybe one of these days I can do that better. One row left, and then this will be done. The paint is beginning to build up on my brush just a little bit, but I hate to rinse it right now because I'm so close to done. One more, and we will be done. There we go. I like this so much better. I think this looks much better than I had originally planned. Um, it's nothing super fancy. Janice says you would maybe decoupage a napkin in the center of the charger. Yes. Pour resin. Oh, wow. That would be amazing. What a wonderful idea. I have not worked with resin before. I'm curious about it. I've been looking at some of the other creatives who do, and I may have to venture into that one of these days because I think it's very cool. Raise this a little bit more. But oh wow, that would really be neat. I've been seeing online where they will take, I don't know, objects like dried flowers or something and put resin over them. That would be really neat. I like that idea a lot. That would be pretty. Well, y'all, this is what I have. And I just, this has been bothering me because I wasn't happy with the outcome and wanted to get this fixed. So I thought, you know what? Since I have road brain tonight and Mimi brain tonight, I'm just going to fix that charger. Chris says you have one and bought some napkins at Dollar Tree, and you're thinking about a napkin in the middle and red and white check around. Oh, girl, yes, do it. Do it. That would be so, so cute. So cute. And if you do that, I want to see a picture. I want to see a picture. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, girls, so much. Thank you all so much. Y'all, I'm really seriously thinking about some of the things that I've made that I don't have room for all the things. I'm thinking about having a live sale this weekend, and let me, I don't have a ton of stuff, but I've got enough stuff that I just can't keep it all. So be on the lookout. I hope to have some information for you soon. I need to kind of see how much do I have, just because there's no point in me keeping it. I might as well um, let you guys enjoy some of it. So I will be bringing you more. I was thinking about that in the 4 hours of driving today. I was thinking about that. That would be a really good way to um, just, I just don't have room for everything. So more to come, more to come. All right, y'all, this is all I have for tonight. I just really wanted to get this fixed and in a better position than where it was. So, you guys, I am going to sign off of here, and I'm going to just go to bed probably. I'm pretty tired. So, listen, thank you so much for spending time with me. I have missed you. It's good to see you again. And I will be talking to you all very soon. I love you. And listen, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. Good night, Miss Janice. You do the same, girl. All right. I will see y'all soon. Love you all. Bye.